Are you currently on the verge of dropping out of law school? Are you depressed? Are you seeking further and further in debt? Are you frustrated, lacking a sense of clarity as to why you are in law school? If you're any of those things, I completely understand. I thought about dropping out of law school. I was incurring debt. I didn't know what I was doing there. In this video, I want to share with you some advice I've learned along the way being over the hump of graduating from law school. And I just want to provide some encouragement, some insight, some tips, some strategies to help you navigate the law school journey. If you're new to my channel, my name is Ndidi Amadi. I talk about all things law school, and I'm here to help you navigate your law school journey. Also, subscribe. So a big part of the reason why I struggled in law school is one, I went too early for me. I was KJD, kindergarten, all the way through JD. So I didn't take a break from college to starting law school. I was just emotionally unprepared. I would consider myself a late bloomer, later bloomer. So although I was 22, I didn't feel like I was emotionally prepared to go to law school. I didn't feel like I was mature enough to handle everything that law school brings. Most people, when they go to law school, they're used to being the best, at least academically. They're used to being the straight A students, all the honors, all the awards. I was used to that. I had graduated with honors all throughout college. And when I got to law school, I was not the smartest in the room, and that took a big toll on my self-confidence, on my mental health. If I was a little bit more mature, I would have realized that it doesn't take anything away from me that I'm no longer the smartest in the room. You actually shouldn't be the smartest in the room. But I was 22, fresh out of college. I thought that my ability, my worth was tied into my academic performance or perfection, if you will. So I just was not emotionally prepared to handle the blows that law school will give you. And anybody that goes through it, no matter if you are a freaking genius, is going to experience some type of setback or blow. It's all character development. That's just the way that law school is structured. But I didn't realize that at that time, which is why I do think it's important for people to feel prepared when they start law school so that they can handle it better than I did, and also so that they can enjoy the experience, because it actually can be enjoyable. I did a video about taking a gap year. Check it out if you're interested. Another reason why I struggled so much in law school is because I was not financially prepared. I really struggled financially. And this is on top of me receiving a scholarship all 3 years. I received a lot of money, but it was not enough. So I didn't have money saved, and I still had to pay rent and transportation. And because I went to school outside of the state where my family resides, and I'm close to my family, so I would travel back and forth, I didn't have the money for that. And I also did not work my first year, as most schools won't even allow one else to work. So I wasn't financially prepared. This is a very vulnerable moment. I didn't even have furniture because I could not furnish my apartment. So I remember sleeping on an air mattress my first year of law school because I did not have the money to get furniture. So I struggled. And with law school, you want to get rest. You want to get proper rest. After you spend all day in the library, going home, you want to be able to feel like it's a sanctuary. I didn't have that. So it also tied into me struggling and tied into my mental health and my mental well-being. Another reason why I struggled in law school is because I felt a sense of regret. Regret is one of the worst emotions because there's nothing that you can do to change it or bring it back. I regretted the timing that I went to law school. I thought that I should have been traveling or just having fun. I regretted the school that I chose. Not that it's a bad school, but I felt like it wasn't a right fit for me. I regretted if I even should have gone into law school, because I remember I was saying that I wanted to work on the Hill. I was coming out of DC. I came out of an internship, interning for my congressperson at the time. So I was like regretting, is this even the right career path for me? So there was a lot of regret, and I don't regret my journey now, but I'm on the other side of it. I'm just explaining as to why I struggled during law school. And I'm sharing this in the hopes that me overcoming my struggles or my mental state of being at that time will help current law students to see that you are not alone and that you can make it to the other side. Also, when I was in law school, I definitely experienced culture shock. I went to Howard University, HU. I have to do it every time. I have to do it. I don't care if I'm alone. I just got to get it out there. So Howard University is an HBCU located in Washington, D.C., which is a major city. And then I had went to a law school called Drake Law School for my JD in the Midwest. And so it was a big culture shock, and it was just almost like a fish out of water experience. So it was a PWI. There was a huge culture shock. So I would suggest for anyone who is not a current law student, but for someone who is thinking about going to law school, is to find the school, visit the school, and make sure that it's the right environment for you. You will spend 3 years there, which seems like a short amount of time, but it is like a big chunk of your life. And you perhaps might even stay in the location that you are attending law school. So I would really consider how you feel, not just rankings, not just money, not just who accepts you. Those are all great things, but also how you feel. This is a holistic approach to, achieving a certain career and a lifestyle that you want. I also had a huge sense of imposter syndrome. I was first generation law student. I'm even first generation American. No one in my family prior to me and my siblings has ever came to the States or lived in the States or went to law school in the States. So I just felt like I didn't know what I was doing. I felt behind. I didn't know the jargon. I didn't know who I was supposed to talk to, who I was supposed to trust. I didn't even know what I didn't know. That's how far down I was. So add all these things up and you'll see why I was struggling so much in law school. Now I want to get to the advice part for the current law students. If you're watching this and you're currently a law student, I want to affirm that you're doing amazing, sweetie. You're there for a reason. You are going to make it. You are smart enough. You are capable enough, and you deserve this. But the first thing that I would suggest is that you seek out mental health support. This is something that I wish I would have done. I wish I would have gone to therapy and just really talked about why I was struggling. Therapy is such a great tool. They help you to express yourself. There's no judgment, at least there shouldn't be if you have a good therapist. And most universities allow for students to receive these type of mental health benefits at no cost. So if you're a current law student, I would research what your university has in terms of mental health counseling. I would also suggest that you reach out to the Dean of Students office if your law school has one, to see if they have any resources for mental health and well-being, because your mental health is one of the most important things you can have. If you don't have it, you won't be able to be an effective student, because so much of being a law student, you need to be mentally strong. There needs to be that mental clarity so that you can just achieve what you really want to achieve. So that would be my first advice to current law students, is to make sure that your mental health is there. You're all there. And if you don't feel comfortable talking to a therapist, there are other tools that you can use that can help. I would suggest journaling your thoughts. If you have a trusted confidant or family member or friend relationship, you can also begin to share that, or other law students, because they're probably going through the same thing. But sometimes talking to other law students, hearing their struggles and your struggles, and it's just like everybody's struggling. It doesn't provide hope. So that's why I really would suggest going to a therapist first, because they can see outside of this whole law school bubble. The second tip I would say is, if you are a person of faith, to lean into your faith. I'm a person of faith, and that was one thing that helped me in law school. I prayed a lot. I prayed for success. I prayed to pass my finals. I prayed that nothing would happen to my health. I just really leaned into my faith, and I really leaned into the fact that I knew I had a purpose and that I was going to do big things with my life and with my education. So if you are a person of faith, I would say to lean into your faith and develop that connection with your creator, and just to provide you with inspiration, hope, meaning, things of that nature. My next piece of advice would be to identify the issue that's causing you the angst. If it's your academics, perhaps you don't understand something, can you go to your professor's office hours? Can you see where the disconnect is? Can you get material that helps to supplement your knowledge? How are your study habits? How is your study schedule? Is it helping you to achieve? Some law schools have midterms, not many, but some have midterms. Did your midterms provide you with feedback on where you need to grow? Are you preparing for class? Are you engaging in class? Or are you checking out? So you really need to identify the situation that is causing the angst. Or is it finances? Do you not have enough money? Can you have a discussion with the financial aid office at your law school? Can you apply for private scholarships? What is the cause of your discontent? And then try to fix that. This next one is a biggie, especially if you are a first-generation law student and you don't know any lawyers in your family or in your network. You really need to find a mentor. A mentor will help you within your career, help you to identify what you want your career to look like, provide a trajectory or a roadmap or a plan for you to get to where you want to get to. A good place to search for a mentor are alumni databases, or even if your law school has events and people come onto campus and then you see that they have taken the career path that you want to take, if you can build a direction, if you can build a connection with them, that would be very, very helpful. Also, let me know in the comments if you want me to do a video about how to find a good legal mentor. My next piece of advice would be to protect your sanity. So if that means that you have to stay off of LinkedIn when everybody is announcing their summer opportunities, I am ecstatic to share that I am doing this, or I'm thrilled, or it's a lot of excitement over there on LinkedIn. But if that is the thing that is going to trigger your mental health, then stay off of LinkedIn. If you know that after a test, everyone's going to be talking about what did you put on your essay, what did you write, and that's just going to make you question yourself, stay away from those conversations. Whatever you need to do to protect your sanity, that is what you're going to need to do to stay the course, to finish off strong, and to do what you came to law school to do. Protect your mental clarity, sanity, whatever. So if you are currently in law school and you are finding yourself overwhelmed, you're frustrated, you're struggling, you don't know who to turn to, I would just suggest that you remember your why, the reason why you came to law school, the reason why you are pursuing this legal career. I would suggest that you find healthy coping mechanisms. I would suggest that you find somebody to talk to, whether it's a trusted confidant or it is a therapist. But what I do know is that with all my struggles, with all of my shortcomings, with all of my regrets, when I was in law school, I still graduated and I am thriving now. And back then I thought that I would never pursue additional education, and now I'm back in school advancing my legal education, pursuing an LLM. Someone who thought that they would never do that again because they struggled so bad. So if I can do it, you can do it, and I wish you nothing but the best, and cheers to your future. If this video has resonated with you, please like, comment, share, subscribe, and let me know if you have any feedback on what videos I should do in the future. Until next time, ciao.